Alright, I'm going to make a quick video for Susan. I watched her live stream last night, and the subject of wiring your fish room came up, and I just wanted to talk about a few things and specifically show you, Susan, that you and Bag of Donuts can do something a lot better than what you're doing. But first I want to explain one quick little thing. Alright, you got your typical power strips, and you've got one tied to another one, and you just keep going like that, you know, so they're all tied together. Well, everything that you've got plugged into that goes through one cord, and this cord is surprisingly small. It's not, I guarantee you, the cord on this thing, unless you buy a really expensive power strip, is not going to be 12 gauge wire. So given all the heaters you have, you're definitely going to want a 20 amp breaker, which requires number 12 wire. Please don't judge, my fish room's a mess right now, and this is a 100-year-old basement. But anyways, I'll explain what I got going on. Alright, there's my panel. Okay, and the bottom two, these bottom two breakers are dedicated strictly for the fish room. They're 20 amp breakers. This stuff is called armored cable. Okay, it's going to be the most expensive part of wiring your fish room. The price varies depending on the current market, because it's made out of aluminum and it's got wire in it, so copper. So whatever copper prices and aluminum prices are is going to depend on how much this stuff is. The price varies quite a bit. It comes in 100-foot rolls, and you can basically use this as an extension cord, but you're going to use it differently than you do your extension cord. So I'll explain this dip first. Alright, so you come off your breaker, alright, and just all you got to do is Google how to install a receptacle, and also YouTube how to use armored cable. It's really not that hard. But this double duplex receptacle right here, I probably got $3, maybe $4 in material in. By the time you buy the connector, the box itself, the garden cover, and your two receptacles. Doing it this way allows you, I can explain it better over here. Alright, so they just continue on. You can see the two lines. They're separate. I use different color receptacles just to keep it easy for me. The white receptacles are controlled by a timer, which I'll talk about later, and the ivory receptacles are constant power. They're always on. But alright, the reason this is better than constantly just daisy chaining extension cords and power strips together is everything here that's downstream going, all the current of all the other devices just simply pass through the box. This receptacle never sees that current. It just simply passes through. And that's because you've got your black and your white and your ground coming this way, and you got a black and a white and a ground coming this way, and they get tied together, as well as the black, you know, you go color for color. But so all the blacks for this receptacle, the black for this receptacle, the black for that receptacle, the black coming this way and the black coming this way, all get wire nutted together. So the only current that this cord sees, or this cord sees, are the lights that they run. So this receptacle is only seeing the current produced by these two lights. All the rest of the current just simply passes through, and it's the right size wire. You'd be surprised how small the wires are in this cord. because they're only made to carry the current of the light it's plugged, you know, that the light that it runs. So this receptacle is only rated for 15 amps, but I can hook everything to a 20 amp breaker because that receptacle is only seeing what you can plug two things into. So I can get 4 outlets for about $3.50. And this flexible armored cable you can put anywhere. So, you know, you can screw it to drywall, you can do whatever. So anywhere you want to put one of these, you can. So that whole thing just continues on. My fish room's still under construction, so there's other things in here. Down there, and it just keeps going that same configuration. Those were originally on opposite sides of a 4-foot tank, and a buddy of mine was like, hey, I'm taking down a 6-foot tank, you want it? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So I didn't move the receptacles, but I should have. But moving these things with this flexible cable or armored cable is not that hard. So anyways, you come down here, it's the same deal. I got 2 lights plugged in. I do have some heaters plugged in because I'm not done. I got another wall to build yet. And I got my air pump, Gemco linear pump, you know the deal. And it continues on. And then I stopped here with the constant power. The constant power stops because this rack that's got fish tanks on it isn't going to use any heaters. So the lighting, it continues on. That stuff's real flexible, and I just mounted more of these double duplexes on my stand to plug my lights in, and it continues on. I put 2 of them back to back there, and it just continues on, keeps going. I got another one there for this row of lights, and it just continues on and stops there. There'll be 3 lights plugged in there. So all that current that's coming from all these lights plugged in comes here. Okay, this timer controls every light in my fish room. It's not that I'm probably going to explain it all screwed up, but it's not that hard. This goes straight to the breaker, okay, and it goes to the receptacle. That's it. The wires die right there. The only thing that breaker controls is this single receptacle. Then I went to Menards and bought a cheap timer. Make sure the timer is rated for 20 amps though, because you are going to be plugging in a lot of lights. Then they have a thing called an appliance cord. You want a 12 gauge, number 12 gauge appliance cord. This appliance cord splices in to this, which that's the downstream for all the lights. So when you plug the timer in, which is just the, you know, 3-prong plug, you plug that in, that runs the timer. This is the load side of that timer, which is spliced to that. So everything downstream is all controlled by this timer. So you unplug the timer, all the lights come off. And that's how I did it. And you'd be surprised how easy it is to make a double duplex. Okay, and you can just screw it to your wall, you know, use drywall anchors, whatever, and you can put these anywhere you want. So as long as it's wired properly and you don't daisy chain all the receptacles, you're not going to see the heat and the current from each receptacle like you would if you daisy chained a whole bunch of extension cords and power strips together. So with a little bit of YouTube research on how to wire up a receptacle, it's only 3 wires, a black, a white, and a green, and they're kind of hard to screw up. So it really isn't, I know, oh God, everybody freaks out you're working with electricity, but you know, make sure you got the power turned off. And the parts you need is you need a 4 square box. The deeper the better. They come in different depths. The deeper, I'm sorry, they come in different depths. The deeper the box, the easier it is to install, because you got all these wires and you got to push everything in there. So the boxes are usually under $1. The Garvin covers, this is called the Garvin cover, the metal with the cutouts for the receptacle. That's going to probably be $1. The receptacles are going to be under $1 each, and you'll need the connectors for the armored cable. You need to buy them box 100, and you're going to need some straps. And you can run this stuff anywhere you want on the outside. You know, it doesn't have to be fished into the wall. It can just be there. Then when you go to sell your house and you take down your fish room, because nobody in their right mind is going to sell a house with a fish room in it, you just rip it all back out, and it never happened. So that's my recommendation on how to wire a fish room. That's just me. I don't know. You want to see a cool fish? A Rombo barb. Anyways, let me know if this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Later.